Deep, in the forests of western Uganda, lies Kibale National Park. This forest is home to one of the largest communities of wild chimpanzees ever recorded. For many years, nearly 200 chimpanzees lived there together. They shared the same forest. They traveled in the same territory. They groomed one another, they hunted together, and they defended their land as one community. To scientists watching them, they seemed united. But slowly, something began to change. Researchers who had studied these chimpanzees for decades noticed small shifts in their relationships. Some chimpanzees started spending more time with certain companions. Others began avoiding individuals they once moved with. At first, these changes were subtle, easy to miss in a busy forest. But over time, the pattern became clearer. The once united community was beginning to divide. Scientists say the process happened gradually, and it happened in stages. First came polarization. Chimpanzees began forming tighter social circles. Small clusters of close allies emerged. Next came avoidance. Groups that once mixed freely began keeping their distance. Encounters became tense. Chimpanzees that once groomed each other started moving away. Then came the final stage, the split. By the year 2018, the community had divided into two separate groups. Scientists named them the Western Group and the Central Group. After the split, everything changed. The chimpanzees no longer traveled together. They stopped grooming each other. They also stopped mating across the divide. Even the forest itself changed meaning. Places that were once shared became borders. But the story did not end with separation. Soon, conflict began. The Western chimpanzees started moving into the territory of the Central Group, moved quietly through the forest in coordinated patrols. Territorial patrols are normal for chimpanzees, but this time, the target was different. The enemy was not a neighboring community. The enemy was former companions. Over the next 7 years, the Western Group carried out repeated raids. Scientists recorded at least 24 attacks. Groups of male chimpanzees surrounded individuals from the Central Group. Then they attacked. The violence was deadly. Researchers documented the deaths of at least 7 adult male chimpanzees. 17 infants were also killed. Scientists believe the real number could be higher. In the forest, some chimpanzees disappear. Their bodies are never found. What makes this conflict especially striking is the history shared by the attackers and the victims. Many of them had once lived side by side. They had groomed each other. They had hunted together. They had defended the same territory. But after the split, those bonds vanished. The former friends became enemies. For scientists, the discovery raises important questions. Chimpanzees do not have religion. They do not have politics. They do not have ethnic identities like humans. Yet they still formed rival groups, and they fought deadly battles. The study suggests that conflict can emerge in another way, through changing relationships, through shifting alliances, through groups slowly drifting apart. Researchers are still trying to understand what caused the split. One reason may be the size of the group. Nearly 200 chimpanzees live together. That is unusually large for a chimpanzee community. Maintaining relationships in such a large group may have been difficult. Another factor may have been the deaths of key individuals. Some chimpanzees play important roles in holding social groups together. When those individuals disappear, can weaken. Changes in leadership may also have increased tensions. Disease outbreaks may have added further stress. Together, these pressures may have pushed the community past a tipping point. Today, the two chimpanzee groups still live separately in Kibale National Park. Once they were one community. Now they are divided. For scientists studying our closest living relatives, the lesson is powerful. Conflict does not always begin with big differences. Sometimes it begins quietly, with small changes in relationships, and with groups slowly drifting apart, until former friends become rivals.